Inside those turtles is the most precious substance known to mankind, harmless phosphorescence. Hello, everybody. This is Human Nerd Thoreau Smiley. Who's joining me this week?
I'm Josh CC, and that rat did not teach me very well.
Like all children, I was drawn to the distractions of popular culture. I'm Brian Lesh.
I'm Alaric Weber, and I'm the one who licks the icing off the Pop-Tarts every morning and puts them back in the box.
And this is Harmless Phosphorescence. It's your weekly podcast where we watch every theatrically released full-length live-action superhero movie ever made. We gather some research into the production and the source material, then we tell you all about it. This show is brought to you by our patrons like executive producers Michael Beckwith and Atticus Burkett. You can be a patron too. Just head over to patreon.com/harmlessentertainment. We got lots of bonus content there. We got Star Wars miniseries, holiday shows, music shows. We've got a weekly Simpsons show coming at you. And so much more. We've got monthly movies. This month, we're going to be doing The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy 2005, the feature film edition. So watch out for that. And this week, though, on Harmless Phosphorescence, we are watching the 2014 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Surveillance is showing heavy Foot Clan activity.
They're taking hostages.
Let's rock and roll.
This is our city. That's what I'm talking about. Like shadows in the night, completely unseen.
Who's that? It's a camera flash.
Give me the camera.
Oh, look, he's doing his Batman voice.
Back off, Rat. Do not say a word about this to anyone. If you do, we will find you.
Yeah, we'll find you. I'm sorry, that came across super creepy, okay? We will find you, though.
My sons, I have trained you your whole lives to protect the city above. But I fear you are not ready for its greatest threat.
We're taking your armor to the next level.
Shredder.
Sensei, you must stop Shredder.
Together, you are stronger than he can ever be.
Let's go save my brothers.
Four turtles, one's fighting a robot samurai.
Why not?
So they're aliens.
No, that's stupid. They're turtles.
Is there anything else we should know about them?
They're ninjas.
Ooh, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Even the trailer is like frenetic and sensory overload.
That 2014 dubstep they have going on there, man.
Well, and the
Ooh.
Michael Bay big blah horn,
Yeah.
foghorn sound.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're like, we're so epic.
Yeah.
I had no indication what that was about.
That was my problem with this entire movie, was that whole, like, the score, for instance. It was choirs and like, oh, da, da, not like radical dude.
Yeah, I would have preferred dubstep as the soundtrack over what we got.
Right? Like orchestral, over the top, this is epic, like battle for the soul of mankind, kind of like the fate of the world hangs in the balance, like choirs. Like, Jesus, guys. This isn't Endgame.
Yeah.
It was the same soundtrack for Transformers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just spoke, which Michael Bay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Musically, it sounded exactly the same.
Yes,
I'm sure that
absolutely.
it was. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah. So, well, yeah, we'll get into the composer. I'll touch on it briefly when we do our production. This movie, it was released August 8th, 2014. It had a running time of 101 minutes, a budget of $150 million. It made $493 million at the box office. It was a hit, and it means that we are going to talk about the box office top 10. This is the box office top 10 game. This is the game where we will count down the top 10 movies of August 8th, 2014. The guys here are going to try to guess it. Now, this is 1 week after Guardians of the Galaxy, which we did last week. So I am not going to actually be doing the entire box office top 10 because a lot of those movies are going to be the same as last week. So, but there were there were 5 movies released this week. 5. So half of the box. So I'm going to kind of skip around the top 25-ish of the box office top 10. Top 30. We'll do the top 30. I'm going to skip around, do some of these, and then we'll go through the new ones as well. So you guys ready to play the box office top 30-ish?
Yes.
Our favorite new game. Ish. The number 30 movie of the week. A chance encounter between a down-and-out music business executive and a young singer-songwriter new to Manhattan turns into a promising collaboration between the two talents. We got Mark Ruffalo in here. This is, I know I saw this.
Is this where his Julianne Moore, his ex-wife, turns gay, but they all make it work?
No. That was The Kids Are All Right.
Oh.
I think he was a sperm donor in that. I can't remember. It's been a while since I saw that one. This is called Begin Again.
Okay.
Yes. Number 29. Actually, I'm going to skip that one. I thought it was a Madagascar sequel, but it's actually just a documentary about Madagascar called Madagascar Island of Lemurs. At number 28, 2 teenage cancer patients begin a life-affirming journey to visit a reclusive author in Amsterdam.
The Fault in Our Stars.
Yes, indeed. By what was the guy's name?
Hank Green, I think, or is it John Green?
John Green.
It's
I
John
hope
Green.
it's John Green, because Hank Green sounds like a guy that works on your truck.
Hank Green.
They are brothers.
There.
Hank and John Green. The
I don't know if you
Stars
guys
brothers.
do Crash Course, but incredible YouTube videos.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Let's see. So moving on up, number 26. A group of fighters must contend with Lord Beerus, the god of destruction. But only a god can fight a god, and none of them are gods. However, with the creation of a new god, will they be able to defeat Lord Beerus? That's the craziest thing I have ever read.
Is
So
Lord Beerus the god of beer?
I doubt it, judging by what this is.
You can just make gods.
This
Feel
isn't
like
Gods
that
of Egypt,
fucks
is
with-
it?
No. This is an anime.
Oh.
Dragon Ball Z, Battle of Gods.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, number 23 this week. A soldier fighting aliens gets to relive the same day over and over again.
Was this Live, Die, Repeat? Was the subtitle?
Yeah, Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow. That's right.
Which was like the last Tom Cruise movie that wasn't Mission Impossible that I thought was actually like really good.
Yeah, it's all right. It's not the best thing, but it was interesting throughout.
Yeah. Let's see. At number 22. After making their way through high school twice, big changes are in store for Officer Schmidt and Jenko when they go deep undercover at a local college.
That's 21 Jump Street.
No, 20.
22.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's the sequel. Oh, because they go to college.
Yeah. At number 20.
So did they graduate from that high school that they were undercover at in 21 Jump Street?
I can't remember.
Did they get their diplomas?
It's been a long time since I saw those. I can't remember.
And is the college on the same street or one street over?
Yeah,
On 22 Jump Street.
Yeah, is it literally the next building down the road?
Right.
It's across the street because they number it odds on one side, evens on the other. So
That actually, I do remember from that. It's because the headquarters, their secret headquarters were at 21 Jump Street, and then Ice-T had to move, or was it Cube? Was it Cube or T?
Cube.
It was Cube. Okay. Cube had to move the headquarters across the street. So that's why it's 22 Jump Street.
Okay.
Wow.
Let's see. Number 20 for the week, when humanity allies with a bounty hunter in pursuit of an alien, the alien's friends turn to a mechanic and his family for help.
All of humanity allies with this bounty hunter.
It would appear so, yes.
This is Predator something in the
No, I'll give you
Transformer.
Yes. Yeah,
Oh,
which
yeah.
one?
The one with Mark Wahlberg, right?
Is this the last night?
No, this is
Oh.
Age of Extinction.
What's the first line of the description you gave us?
When humanity allies with a bounty hunter.
All of humanity allies with the bounty hunter.
Exactly.
I hope he's making
What a hell of a meeting.
a real living.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. And this is the last one I'm going to do before we jump into the opening this week. At number 18, a vengeful fairy is driven to curse an infant princess, only to discover that the child may be the one person who can restore balance to the land. Restore balance.
I know. I love when that.
I'm just here for the
expression-
vengeful fairy.
Right.
That's an origin
Yeah.
story.
That's interesting. Yeah.
This is starring Angelina Jolie.
This is Beowulf.
No.
Maleficent.
Yeah, Maleficent. Josh gets a Disney point.
Was Maleficent a fairy? I thought she was a witch.
Yeah, I don't know if she's the vengeful fairy or if she's. I
Yeah,
think maybe
'cause
she's I would guess the fairy is vengeful against Maleficent, and so she curses the princess so that the princess will fight Maleficent. But I haven't seen this movie, so that's just a guess.
Yeah, I
based
haven't
on-
seen either, but they take place before Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah.
So
in,
she
in
had
the,
them out.
in the beauty verse.
I
It's
am
a
writing
gorgeous
down
movie.
Vengeful Fairies for a band name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's one. Here's one more I'll do before we jump into the openings this week. So the description of this: the life of Mason from childhood to college.
Oh, this is Boy?
Oh,
Boyhood.
Boyhood.
Yeah. Linklater.
This is the
Right?
movie that they
Yeah,
made
Linklater.
throughout the actor's actual life.
Yeah, they shot it
Yeah.
over like 15 years. Yeah.
Interesting concept.
It wasn't a bad movie.
Yeah.
It was actually like I was expecting it as a film to be kind of like ugh, but it actually wasn't bad here.
Yeah, it had some moving points within it too. I remember being like,
Yeah.
"Oh, wow, this is very real."
Yeah. Yeah. Andrea, by the way, says that Maleficent was a fairy.
The things my wife knows.
Wow, you have I bow down to your Maleficent knowledge, Andrea. All right. Opening this week at number
She
7.
is watching.
Yeah. She's always watching, Josh. She's always watching. Opening at number 7 this week. 2 struggling pals dress up as police officers for a costume party and become neighborhood sensations. But when these newly minted heroes get tangled in a real-life web of mobsters and dirty detectives, they must put their fake badges on the line. This isn't bad. This wasn't a bad movie. It wasn't, incredible or anything. It had
This isn't The New Guys, right? This is something different.
Yeah, it had that guy from The New Girl in it. I can't remember the dude's name, the actor. The guy that did the voice of Spider-Man on Into the Spider-Verse.
And Damon Wayans Jr.
And Damon Wayans Jr., yeah. It's called Let's Be Cops.
Oh, Let's Be Cops.
So, yeah, it wasn't bad. It was an all right comedy. Number 6, All-Stars from the previous installments of this series come together in glittering Las Vegas, battling for a dance victory that could define their dreams and their careers.
Wow.
Ocean 17.
And a dance victory?
Yeah.
Bring It On 3.
No, it's not a Bring It On.
Step Up 17.
It is a step. It is a step up.
Step Up 3. It sounds like Vegas is the jump the shark moment.
It's called Step Up All In.
Step up the stairs to Caesar's Palace.
Right.
There's so many.
Opening at number 4. The Kadam family leaves India for France, where they open a restaurant directly across the road from Madame Mallory's Michelin-starred eatery. Madame Mallory's Michelin-starred eatery.
Wait, is Michelin star in the name of that restaurant? Because that could go very badly for them.
I don't know.
Michelin is the company that rates restaurants. Yeah,
I know, but if that's the name of the actual restaurant, Madame Mallory's Michelin-starred eatery, it's like Uncle Mo's family feed bag.
Yeah. Well, it's like the greatest restaurant in the world until it isn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is it?
This movie's called The 100-Foot Journey.
Like across the street to Madame Mallory's Michelin star restaurant.
It looks like Madame Mallory is played by Meryl Streep.
Oh, that sounds fitting.
Yeah. At number 3, storm trackers, thrill seekers, and everyday townspeople document an unprecedented onslaught of tornadoes touching down in the town of Silverton.
Idiots who stand out in a tornado.
This looks like this is
Sharknado?
It looks like this is a found footage movie about a tornado destroying a town.
Is it in the Cloverfield universe?
No, I don't think it's horror at all. I don't think it's supernatural in any way. It's just found footage movie about tornadoes destroying a town and people surviving. It's called Into the Storm.
So it's a fictionalized documentary?
Yeah, it's a fictionalized found footage drama.
Right.
Like
they're storm hunters, but their cameras were left or something. Yeah.
I hate it.
And it has like people and their phones, like a lot of phone footage kind of thing.
Right.
So this is the underpowered. What was that one movie with Dane DeHaan?
The Chronicle.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And of course, at number 2 was Guardians. I can't believe it only lasted number 1 for 1 week. That's because opening at number 1 this week, when a kingpin threatens New York City, a group of mutated turtle warriors must emerge from the shadows to protect their home.
Not to stick on Guardians too long, but I have a feeling that it was back in number 1 the next week. I'm sure that this was a close call for Turtles to win.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, let's see. Actually,
and word of mouth on Guardians of the Galaxy was how that movie got to be well renowned.
You're absolutely right. Yeah.
They marketed the shit out of it, but I'm sure every parent was like, "Oh, you should actually take your kids to this. It was great."
Plus, to each other, it's really good. It seemed weird, but it's really good. Go see.
Yeah. Well, okay. So the week after this, Guardians is still number 2, Turtles is still number 1, but they're only separated by a couple $1,000,000. And then the week after that, they flip and Guardians goes back to number 1.
Oh shit! Rematch Apollo Creed and Rocky.
Like Avatar and Endgame.
Yeah. Even though Sin City 2 came out, it beat them. Yeah.
Ooh.
I didn't know there's a sequel.
Yeah, it's not good. It's real bad.
Well, and Brittany Murphy had died, right? At this point.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, was Brittany Murphy in the first Sin City?
Wasn't she?
No.
I thought she...
How come we didn't do Sin City 2?
Because there's no superhero in it. It's like just a crime story, even though it's a comic-based one. It's like the same reason we didn't do Men in Black. We determined that there wasn't a superhero in Men in Black.
All right, yeah, I'll take it.
Just a regular hero.
Yeah.
Lower than average intelligence.
Yeah, wow. She died in 2009. I don't know why I thought it was so much earlier than that. I thought it was like 2005 or so.
Am I remembering correctly? She was in the first Sin City movie?
I'm sure she was. It's been so long since I saw Sin City. Yeah. Yeah, she was. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Weird. So that is our box office top 10 for the week, which comes to the comic book and character background. Professor Weber, will you please enlighten us as to why these turtles should be in a museum?
I'm not sure how to answer that question.
Right. Yeah, it's at this point where it's like with certain franchises, I feel like Congress should step in and be like, you've made enough.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So, I didn't even think to look until this morning to do some research. But then it occurred to me, maybe there were a character or two that we haven't discussed before. We've talked about Shredder and Splinter and all the turtles. This is the first appearance of Karai in movies.
Who's Karai, the female assassin?
That's correct.
A lady assassin?
I just want to say, I thought her name was Crud for like the first 45 minutes of the movie. I was like, who named this character Crud? Karai makes more sense.
Yeah, I don't even recall hearing her name spoken aloud. But anyway, let's see. She was originally introduced in the Eastman and Laird comic book series, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, in 1992. That was in issue number 53. She had a cameo appearance. And then
on Full House.
And is she from something else?
No, it was just. I think it was brief. She wasn't named. Wasn't exactly sure. Yeah, she didn't have a name. She was an unknown woman. And then 2 issues later, in number 55. Oh wait, she was at 54 also, but she was named in issue 55 in January 93. Introduced as one of the leaders of the mainstream Foot Clan in Japan. Let's see. She's depicted as Shredder's second in command or adopted daughter in most versions. And let's see, after Leonardo killed the Shredder, the Foot faction in New York has been in chaos with different groups warring for control. Karai steps forward with her faction and wants to get the Turtles to destroy the Shredder's elite, they're called.
Okay.
Five guys who are messing stuff up. What's that, Josh?
So they were the guys that captured the turtles? Was she trying to kill them at this point?
I don't know.
All right, fair enough.
I wasn't even sure what year Shredder was killed or in what issue. Let's see.
You mean you're not completely up on the Turtles lore?
Yeah, that's right, Chuck.
So after the Turtles help defeat the 5 Elite, Karai thanks the Turtles for their help, and she says that the foot will no longer bother them and returns to Japan. Later, the storyline ended before it was revealed, but there was a Lady Shredder. And
a Lady Shredder?
Made by Gillette.
Lady Shredder. And it was going to be revealed that was Karai.
The Lady Shredder from Gillette.
I think I'm going to try this one.
So her whole divide and conquer, use the Turtles to overthrow her enemies, and then deliver a peace agreement with the Turtles was a ruse. Because she was actually Lady Shredder all along.
Oh.
Huh.
She was all...
You fools, it is I, Lady Shredder.
Like in Swamp Thing, the dude who had to wear the masquerade for like months. Do you remember that in Swamp Thing? The guy who was the evil guy, but also the guy running the project they were working on.
Right. Yeah.
Anyways, I'm sorry. They had to put on that every single day and then get the job done.
That's about all I got. She didn't do much in this movie, so I didn't go too in depth.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did nothing clever and she had no agency. She was just a female goon.
And did
Right.
am I wrong?
Yes.
Did she? Because I'm not gonna lie, because it was kind of hard for me to pay a lot of attention to this movie both
Same
times
here.
I watched it. Did she die at some point, or did she just disappear from the movie?
She just disappeared.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, did I miss it, or did she just go away at some point and now she's gone?
Yeah, she should have flown a helicopter in and picked Shredder up or something at the end. But
Oh, we're going to talk about helicopters in Manhattan. We have before, but in this.
Well, there's a lot. Oh my God, there's this movie left me with so many questions.
Only questions. That's all
Yeah.
I have. I don't even know if I have any gags. Only questions.
Yeah, this movie is a hot mess. But all right, thank you, Al, for that look into the
real quick. There was one more when I breezed over it real quickly. Dr. Baxter Stockman appears in this, but only in flashbacks. He's a scientist that works at Sachs Industries. And that character from the comics, but we're going to talk about him next time because he makes a bigger appearance in the next Turtles movie.
Did he look like a fly in this one?
I don't think so.
Oh.
No, he just looked like a dude.
My other question.
And did the dude look like a Lady Shredder?
My other question is, was what's his name? Stain or Stork or something? Was he from the comics? The evil kingpin?
Sachs?
Oh,
Sachs, yeah.
Sachs, that was his name.
Sachs?
No.
S-A-C-K-S. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't want to get too deep into that character, but I was reading about it because I was curious about this mess of a movie. He was originally written to be Shredder. It was going to be revealed that he is Shredder, and fans were upset because they were whitewashing the one Japanese character in the Ninja Turtles.
Mm-hmm.
The samurai guy, and turning him into a white businessman was too far. For
Yeah.
the fans.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's a good point.
yeah, that kind of sucks.
Well, I wish fans were a little bit louder about the rest of this movie.
Yeah, because the rest of this movie is it's not whitewashing exactly, but it's
it is to some extent.
It's well, yes, there is some of there. Yes, there's definitely some.
Yeah,
of it, but
I
there's
mean,
also a lot of a coat of feces laid across the whole thing.
This is Spider-Man's New York. There are no people of color in this movie.
was just
Oh,
gonna
no.
say.
Oh, there is one.
Hmm.
In the Foot Clan.
Oh yeah, that's true. We do
Well,
see
and
one
also-
Foot Goon member.
Sure,
Yeah.
criminals, sure.
Also Miss Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh, yeah.
and
Confusingly. I mean, good for
Yes.
her. Who doesn't like making money? But it's not like she's like she needs gigs.
It's weird that this is the thing she picked to like
That's
to
what I
like
was
make a
getting
few bucks on. Like
That's
this,
what I was getting at,
this.
yeah. This.
It seemed like it was a favor to somebody, and it was also an easy gig. She's not like trapped in a burning building or anything.
Oh, she 100% showed up and worked for 5 hours and went home.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
that
it's
was
funny.
it.
I would enjoy seeing her playing that character in a totally different movie. I don't mean that
Yeah.
character with the same name, but like the hard, like
Yeah, the hard ass
the
The
Daily-
editor or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jonah Jameson. Like she fit
Yeah.
that role
Oh,
very
yeah.
well.
Honestly, I miss seeing Whoopi Goldberg in movies in general. Like, I don't
Yeah.
feel like she's done much in the last 20 years.
No, but she was all let's do it.
She was one of the shining moments in this whole movie.
Absolutely. So yeah. All right. So this movie was directed by Jonathan Liebsman.
You're
Jonathan-
telling me that Michael Bay didn't direct this Thoreau.
Are you
I have been
telling me?
deceived by all of the marketing. And
Telling me.
Yeah, and the fact that it says Michael Bay's Teenage Mutant
Yeah.
Ninja Turtles above it,
I didn't see this guy's name anywhere.
right? And
Yeah,
that
I
made,
saw his producing credit in the very beginning.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, and she's worked with him many times because of Transformers since the first one.
oh, Megan Fox. Is
Megan
that?
Fox, that is.
Yeah. So it was produced by Michael Bay. It has his fingerprints all over it, but it was directed by Jonathan Liebsman, who also directed Darkness Falls, Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning, Battle Los Angeles, Wrath of the Titans, and last year he had an uncredited director job on Doolittle, the Robert Downey Jr. one that everybody hated.
So he had never done a children's movie,
No.
and that's obvious.
I mean,
Yeah.
Texas Chainsaw is about young Leatherface. That's a fucked up movie.
Wait, is that an origin story for Leatherface?
Yes, it's
It is-
the beginning, quote
Yeah,
unquote.
the beginning.
So we
It's
find
like-
out where he gets that face from?
Oh, all of that. We find out that how the town goes destitute and has, and everyone's poor, and it just keeps going down. The
Oh my
slaughterhouse
God.
where he worked closed.
Do we see him find the chainsaw?
Yes.
Wait. So wait. So we see Leather, like it's a sympathetic retelling of Leatherface's origin.
Yes, until a certain point. Yes.
Wow.
Until he reaches the
Is
age
it a musical where
wherever-
is it a musical? Is he like, I just want to use my chainsaw on every teenage girl who comes into my town?
You're brutalizing me.
Who played the chainsaw massacre or Leatherface?
I'm not sure. It could very well have been the dude Gunther, whatever, that actually played Leatherface. It could have been the guy that stands in for Jason. There's
I was hoping it was
another,
like Steve
former
Carell
wrestler
or something.
I think he was like a former wrestler. I can't remember his name. But yeah, just some big dude.
Wow, that is crazy. That is crazy. So,
Yeah.
all right. This Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
And you know what, guys? I don't want to ruin it. Incest.
Explains
Man.
a lot.
Just
That-
rampant incest.
That was the hook the movie needed.
Right. It's like, bro, your farm's not that far away from it.
He's like, you have a car, right?
How do you get to the slaughterhouse? Okay.
All right. So yeah, this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I didn't know we were going to get into that much incest.
I'm glad we did.
It was written by Josh Applebaum, Andre Nemec, and Evan Dougherty. We got 3, although 2 of them are a writing team. Andre Nemec, let's see, also has writing credits on a bunch of TV stuff. Alias, Life on Mars. He has writing credit on Mission Impossible, Ghost Protocol. He's currently writing the Beverly Hills Cop 4 script, which is in production, and he's a writer on the Cowboy Bebop Netflix reboot.
Well, the reboot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would like to argue the point that nobody wrote this movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the coked out 10-year-olds we've talked about before.
He's a writing.
I was gonna say they just kept contacting Michael Bay for script notes, and they were just like, "Cool, that's the script. We'll do it. Put these guys' names on it."
He's like, blow some things up and then have a whole bunch of like semis roll over a bunch. He's like, wait. Exactly. Then he was like, wait, is this for Transformers or Turtles? It doesn't matter. Do it.
It doesn't matter.
Needs more convoys.
Yeah.
Is this 4 lines of dialogue in a row? No, that's not going to work. I'll give you 2 lines of dialogue and an explosion.
Yeah, that's my final offer. Andre Nemec's writing partner is Josh Applebaum. They wrote this together. We also have, as a writer, Evan Dougherty, who his credits include Snow White and the Huntsman, Divergent, and the 2018 Tomb Raider movie.
He directed Snow White and Hooch.
Dark movies for teenagers.
Yeah, exactly.
This is all adding up in my mind now, why this movie is the way that it is.
Right, because of his, other tonal.
Yeah.
Right.
We've got a lot of like divergent, like,
Yeah, because like Huntsman is about Snow White, but it's about having to take her heart to prove to the queen that he killed her. So it's also a dark movie.
The team behind this, it makes a lot of sense why it is like it is, but it doesn't make a lot of sense of why the Turtles went this route.
Yeah, why nobody seemed to care.
Yeah. So, I mean, in 2009, Nickelodeon purchased the rights to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The first thing they made was that animated film, which by all accounts was pretty good. I've never seen it. Heard it was pretty good.
It's fun.
Sorry, for an animated movie, yes.
Yeah. So you guys have both seen it, right?
Yeah. TMNT?
Yeah.
Yeah, TMNT.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah. This is live action and it's fucking nightmare. Mm-hmm. That was animated and it was perfectly good turtle product.
Yeah. So then in 2010, Nickelodeon decided they were going to make a live action Turtles, and they since they are owned by the same parent company as Paramount, Paramount has Michael Bay under contract, and they said, hey, Michael Bay, you make big action movies, come on board. And Michael Bay put together the team that did this. Originally, Art Markham and Matt Holloway were going to write the film. They did Punisher Warzone, and they had writing credits on Iron Man, though, of course, that doesn't mean a whole lot. They're currently working on Kraven the Hunter. But so I think, I don't know.
I didn't know they were making that. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Kraven the Hunter.
So that's, that, I don't know. But they dropped out, and the script was given to Josh Applebaum, Andre Nemec, and Jonathan Liebsman came on board to direct the film after Brett Ratner dropped out. So it could have been worse. Originally, they were just going to title it Ninja Turtles. And Michael Bay's first idea was that the turtles were going to be aliens.
They make a joke about that in the movie.
They do. Somebody at some point decided that was the fan community was so angry about that they went back on that.
It might have been better.
That's true. This might have been better. It reminds me of John Peters and his robotic Spider-Man, or his robotic spider that he wanted in Superman. Every time he tried to produce
Yeah, exactly.
Make them aliens. The word mutant is in the fucking...
Right?
They're mutant aliens.
No, but that was his thing. He was
Right.
taking away the Teenage Mutant part. It was going to be just Ninja Turtles. Ninja Turtles, just period. So when all this was going down, Robbie Rist, who was Michelangelo in the first 3 movies, posted a bunch of tweets saying that Michael Bay was sodomizing the Ninja Turtles.
Wow.
He's never getting the call back for the next animated role that he could have possibly gotten.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I heard an anecdote about William Shatner once where he had a radio interview and he showed up. They're like, how's it going? He's like, well, the traffic was terrible. It was so bad it was holocaustic.
Oh, no.
That's how he described traffic.
Oh, no.
Whoa.
He is Jewish, but still.
Whoa. Apparently Eastman and Laird both signed off on this, saying that they thought it was a perfectly good version of the movie when they were watching it, or when they were invited behind the scenes. I imagine that was in large part thanks to the large checks they were getting for this film.
Yeah. I was going to say those are 2 very savvy businessmen.
Yeah, absolutely.
That makes me wonder if
So
Michael Bay signed off on it before they saw it and signed off on it.
Right. Yeah. So there was already that.
So all right, our cast, we've got Pete Plozek did the motion capture for Leonardo. And this is weird because he's the only one who didn't get to voice the character he was motion captioning. Johnny Knoxville voiced Leonardo. Everyone else got to be voiced by the actor doing the motion capture. So that's kind of sucks for Pete Plozek. But Pete Plozek, he was also, let's see, his other credits include, and I feel like he might have been hired on to do the voice because he's an actual actor. He was in Captain Marvel. He played Brett Johnson. He was in, let's see, he had bit parts in Workaholics and Parks and Rec. He was in that MTV Teen Wolf series. He was in Superstore.
Is he the guy who made the cockpit joke in Captain Marvel? That's got to be who that is. There weren't a lot of blonde-haired, blue-eyed white guys in that movie.
I think it was.
Who was he in this?
He was the motion capture for Leonardo, but he didn't get to do the voice.
But he didn't do the voice. Gotcha.
The voice of Leonardo was Mr. Johnny Knoxville, just jackass. Johnny Knoxville. I'm not.
He was known for his voice.
Well, and 40-something.
40-something-year-old Johnny Knoxville voicing the teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
It would have been great if at some point Michelangelo just hit him in the nuts with a tennis ball server. So this is good.
Let's see. Jeremy Howard was Donatello. Let's see. He was also like 30 years old. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
His voice was weird. Did anybody think so?
I thought a lot of the Turtles' voices were weird.
Yeah, all of them.
And I feel like, once again, I don't want to be insensitive in any way, but we had made those jokes about him having a TBI. So I think maybe they're trying to tell us he's autistic or something, because he's always very weird and doesn't know what to do usually. And usually he's the science guy.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was definitely supposed to be a semi-autist, like on the spectrum kind of nerdy dude. Yeah.
Yeah, because we've said a few times, like, is there something wrong with Donatello? And he was the smart. Okay.
All right. So Jeremy Howard, who played Donatello, he was in Galaxy Quest. He played Kyle. I assume that was one of the fans, I think. He was in How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
He looks like a Who.
Yeah, he had a bunch of parts in. He had a bunch of parts in a bunch of sitcoms and shows. He played a dead nerd in the Buffy the Vampire Slayer episode Lessons.
He was one of the meth heads in Breaking Bad.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sketchy, Skinny Pete, or shit.
He was one of the people in like a crash pad, I think.
One of the lesser meth heads, right? Not one of the main meth heads.
Yeah.
Sketchy was his nickname.
Yeah. He was one of Jesse's hangers on, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. He was
Let's talk about Breaking Bad. I don't want to. Kidding, Phil. Pardon me. Go ahead.
He apparently plays Vooch in the Netflix film Malibu Rescue.
Turner and Vooch.
Oh Lord. Let's see. So Alan Ritchson plays Raphael. Why did I say it weird? Raphael is not how you pronounce that. Plays Raphael. Alan Richman. Let's see. He was Arthur Curry in Smallville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love this guy. There's a TV show called Blue Mountain State about a football team. It's the stupidest show ever, but he is really funny in that show.
Oh, I remember that show. I watched it. I forgot that existed.
Are we talking about the Stack guy?
No, this is
Alan Richardson. Raphael. Yeah.
Raphael.
Yeah. Played a dude named Thad, which fits.
Wow, I completely forgot about
he's one of the main guys in The New Girl. He's the guy from New Girl.
Dude, wait, he's from New Girl?
The blonde guy. He's the big buff blonde guy from New Girl.
Big buff blonde guy.
From like early seasons of The New Girl. I never watched it, but the only episodes I've ever seen were early, and it was with him in it.
Wow, I don't remember him from New Girl.
And he played young Scully in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That's the other place that I've seen him in. That is a hilarious episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I think it's the funniest one.
Same. I agree.
Yeah.
It's just so good.
I think I know him best and most recently on Titans. He's Hawk.
Oh, he's Hawk.
Hank Hall. And once I realized that, I couldn't unhear his voice.
Right.
I couldn't unhear his face from the voice.
Oh my God! Yeah, I can't believe I forgot about
He ceased to be Raphael for me.
Totally no even.
Let's see.
Yeah, I like that guy.
We got Noel Fisher as Michelangelo. He's that dude from Shameless. He was in Shameless. He played Vladimir, the 1,500-year-old vampire in Twilight. And X-Men Evolution. He plays Toad.
He played Brainiac in the Justice League cartoon.
Yeah.
Huh.
That kind of makes sense.
Yeah. He was in Freddy Got Fingered. And Agent Cody Banks. Woo.
Agent Cody Banks could have taken care of this problem.
The director did Battle Los Angeles?
Yeah.
He's in that too.
Okay.
That makes sense.
So for Splinter, Danny Woodburn did the motion capture. Wow, that's Mickey from Seinfeld. The little person. Yeah.
And wasn't his voice?
His voice was Tony Shalhoub. Splinter's voice was Tony Shalhoub.
I'm going to interrupt again. I'm sorry it's obnoxious, but on 30 Rock, Jenna's like, I want a Golden Globe and 4-time Tony Shalhoub sex partner.
And Tony Shalhoub, of course, I mean, Galaxy Quest, Barton Fink, Quick Change.
Monk.
Yeah. Monk. Yeah. He's Monk. Yeah.
He is Monk.
Yeah.
I am Monk. We are Monk.
Megan Fox is April O'Neil. So Megan Fox was very good in Jennifer's Body.
Yeah.
Moving on.
I liked her in This Is 40, but I don't know how many people.
I forgot about This Is 40. Yeah, she was good in that.
I don't think she was the worst part of this movie by any stretch.
She was not the worst part of this movie. She was also not a good part of the movie.
Yeah. I don't think that she detracted from the quality of this at all, nor did she improve it greatly. No. She's better than every Ninja Turtle voice. I will put it that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or previous April.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen a good April on screen, honestly, including Megan Fox.
I mean, yeah, I can agree with
I want
that.
April to be a little more Lois Lane, like Margot
Yeah.
Kidder style Lois Lane than we've ever seen her.
So you want a reporter that seems like they're on a shit ton of benzos?
Well, you know what I mean.
She's just chain smoking the entire time.
Yeah. What the fuck am I doing here? What the fuck am I doing here?
It's fucking turtles.
But I agree with you. There hasn't been a good one yet, and you're right.
No.
And there've been like investigative reporting moments, but she's not all that great as an investigative reporter.
No, she's not.
In
No, she
April,
wasn't.
in April.
But let's not forget she went to journalism school.
the upstairs journalism
Yeah.
school with Dr.
She
Nick.
says that. I went to journalism school for 4 years.
She didn't even say like NYU or anything.
No,
No,
she just
nothing.
says journalism school. That's like, I went to reporter college.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I was an escort.
Will Arnett plays Vern Fenwick, April's producer, cameraman.
Comic
Will-
relief.
Yeah, exactly. And Will Arnett, we have covered previously, strangely enough, on what was he in? He was in something where he played like a straight man.
Huh.
Here, let me see. Will Arnett, we saw on this show. I mean, obviously, we're all familiar with Will Arnett, Job Bluth, most famously, I think. But we saw him on this show in what was it? It was not that long ago. Jonah Hex.
Oh.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
He has not done a lot, but he has a particular sense of humor, and it's quite good.
I feel like when he's let off of the rails to do whatever he feels like doing, like to improv a little bit, he is much better than he was in this. Him reading lines processed by some, committee was painful to watch. Makes me think of like the Batman movie. I'm sure a lot of that had to be run by people, and he did a lot of takes of things.
Right.
But every moment in those movies is funny. This, just everything fell flat for me. The funniest thing you see him do is put mustard and mozzarella cheese, like that powdered Parmesan cheese, on a sandwich and eat it.
Yeah, I watched that. I was like, oh my God, that sandwich looks terrible. William Fichtner played, crap, what was his name? It was...
Shax?
Yes,
it was Eric Sachs.
And he's a very famous character actor. I remember him most of my life.
He was in The Dark Knight.
He was in Dark Knight, and he was badass.
Yeah, he's the guy with the shotgun in the bank. Yeah.
Well, not just he's blown away because somebody is robbing it. Period. But yeah, it's the Joker. Yeah, it's a great scene.
Yeah,
and he's been
in the counting.
Yeah, he's been in.
I guess I miscounted.
He's been in a gazillion things: Quiz Show, Strange Days, Heat, Armageddon, Go, Perfect Storm. Like, just consummate character actor.
He plays a lot of character roles that, like Chris Cooper used to play, if you know who I mean.
Yeah, absolutely. Tohoru Masumune. I butchered that. Tohoru Masamune. I'm so sorry to everybody for saying that name that way. He was in Inception. That's his big thing. Other than this,
was he?
He played the young version of the guy they hired in Inception.
You see him in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. a few times. He's a TV actor and a lot of different stuff.
Yeah. Oh, he does some voices in American Dad. Yeah. Kung Fu Panda, Legends of Awesomeness. He does a lot of voice work, it looks like, too.
Yeah, I saw he was listed as an Infinity Train cast member, which is kind of cool. It's a great animated show.
And then, of course, EGOT winner Whoopi Goldberg. just slumming it all over the place in this
Yeah,
movie.
because their scenes are with Megan Fox. I don't know. Whoopi must have owed somebody money.
Yeah. So I didn't know this, but like Whoopi's career started. She so FYI, Whoopi Goldberg was born Karen Johnson. Whoopi Goldberg was not the name she was born with.
That's hilarious.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's like 70s punk shit.
Yeah, no, for sure. She dropped out of high school and she took her name. She got the name Whoopi because she was doing a one-woman show, and apparently, this is what she says: when you're performing on stage, you never really have time to go into the bathroom and close the door. So if you get a little gassy, you got to let it go. So people used to say to me, "You're like a whoopee cushion up there."
What? I always thought it was like an allusion to sex.
No, it's because she used to fart on stage.
Good for her.
I never
Own
thought
that.
it meant anything. Okay.
Yeah.
And then she went with Goldberg.
Yeah.
She's like, they'll never.
I'm going to meet Steven Spielberg at a bar mitzvah.
Yeah, because she says that she feels she's Jewish, which okay. I mean,
Okay.
yeah,
I get that.
cool.
I get that.
Yeah, in the 70s, she became. I'm going a little bit into Whoopi Goldberg's background because I feel like it's the most interesting part of this entire movie. But she moved to San Diego, where she got involved with avant-garde theater troupe, the Blake Street Hawkeyes. She started teaching comedy and acting classes. I don't know how, because she was in her early 20s and had no background in it. But she somehow got a job teaching comedy and teaching.
Dude, this
theater.
is America. You put the right sign on a building, and here they come.
Right. One of her students in the early 80s was Courtney Love.
Wow.
Well, then she was a terrible teacher.
Yeah. So she moved back to New York and started doing an off-Broadway show where Mike Nichols happened to be in the audience one night, and he thought it was so good that he went backstage, introduced himself, and got her onto Broadway during her one-woman show, which then got put on HBO, which Steven Spielberg saw that, her HBO special, and put her in The Color Purple.
The Color Purple, yep.
And then the rest is history.
The Goldberg Gambit paid off.
Yeah, that's another Steven Spielberg discovery. Mike Nichols and Steven Spielberg this time.
Yeah, there's nothing malicious or weird about it, but his power is remarkable.
It really is. And also, so I don't know if you guys have watched either of these, but Jumpin' Jack Flash and Burglar, where I had both of those on VHS and watched them repeatedly as a child. So that was like the Whoopi Goldberg that I like grew up knowing, Jumpin' Jack Flash, which was Penny Marshall's first directorial debut.
That's interesting.
Huh.
Early on, they still do, but very early on, HBO always had comedy specials. It was like the place, like if you could get an HBO special. So I remember seeing her in that, or doing that a lot. Do you guys, do any of you remember the Ted Danson or Whoopi Goldberg?
Oh, yes. The Ted Danson blackface.
Yeah, so they were at Friars Club roast, which
are you too
supposed to be.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Josh. Go ahead.
Sorry.
I just saw Brian's eyes get wide, and I was like, oh, Brian, you might be too young to have lived through that.
Right.
Or remember living through it anyways.
So unless they stage it otherwise, Friars Club roasts are private. You know, nobody's supposed to be allowed in unless you're a member, press included. But somebody was there with the camera. And Danson and Goldberg were actually dating at the time. And they built this whole bit and routine with blackface. And though Whoopi is black, she also was wearing have you seen Bamboozled, Spike Lee? Mm-hmm. You know, the minstrel show thing that fit into this bit for the roast they were doing in this private roast.
Yeah, so Ted Danson.
I'm not defending blackface, but that's how that went down.
Yeah.
Ted Danson felt he was justified doing blackface. Ted Danson, who is a famously liberal man, was
a part of a bit in a Friars Club. I mean, you should
Right.
listen to Jeff Ross tell stories of how disgusting they can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But Ted Danson felt he was justified doing blackface since the African American woman he was dating said it was okay. Whether it's okay or not is not for me.
Yeah. What year was
say.
this? Was this like 93 or something?
Somewhere
early
between like 89 and 93, somewhere in that period.
Yeah, I don't know if it had to do with permission.
Well,
okay.
But either way, Whoopi was in on it, and he
Yeah.
felt,
Yes. Yeah, they were the roast masters.
yeah.
So
So
this was all a part of the routine they were
Yeah.
paid to do.
yeah. So
But anyway,
yeah, there's that. Anyway,
there's that. It was a private ceremony. All right, continuing on. It was a weird part of history.
yeah, it was. So that's pretty much our production here. This has 21% on Rotten Tomatoes, and that's about it, guys. Are you ready to jump into the movie?
Oh, cowabunga.
Let's play back.
Back.
Isn't that what they call it at the end? That's
Buck.
Buck.
Which was a genius little plan, but yes, damn, Buck.
They're kicking the
Can
buckets.
can we talk about the video with the cat playing chopsticks with chopsticks?
Yeah, that was
What are you
Keyboard
talking
Cat,
about?
wasn't it?
Yeah, I love
Instead-
that clip.
Was that
Instead
actually,
of this whole movie, can we
was
just
that
talk
actually-
about
was
first?
that actual Keyboard Cat? I felt like Keyboard Cat didn't do multiple videos. I thought they just showed the same one over and over. Or did someone?
Maybe CGI chopstick. Oh yeah, playing chopsticks. Yeah, I don't know if that is the original.
Yeah,
No,
I don't know.
I don't think it's the original.
I don't think that was original Keyboard Cat. All
But
right.
it does start off from.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because original Keyboard Cat is actually a video from like the 80s. I forgot. Anyways, Keyboard Cat was dead by the time he got famous.
Oh, yes.
Just
Like the
FYI,
Van Gogh
internet.
viral videos.
Yeah. So, all right, here we go, everybody. This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We open with an animated sequence and the most unnecessary voiceover I have ever seen in a movie.
Yeah.
Splinter explains to the Turtles that the Foot Clan exists and they're bad.
This should have been used to introduce their origins and get that shit out of the way.
Yes.
Like
If
in
they
the
were gonna
original
do it.
movie, that's the way it should have been done.
Yeah.
If they were gonna do an animated like voiceover beginning, yeah, do it to introduce their origins.
Yeah.
Instead, they do it to tell us that there is the Foot Clan and they are bad. That's
Yep.
all it accomplishes. The
Which
only
we will figure out during the movie.
Because immediately afterwards, we cut to April O'Neil interviewing a guy talking about the Foot Clan and how bad they are and all the stuff they're stealing.
Yeah.
Right. Wreaking havoc.
This is a great time for I've raised you since you were in a terrarium.
Yes.
Period.
Yep.
Yes. So, all right. We cut to April O'Neil, intrepid reporter. She's investigating science thievery down at the docks.
Science theory.
Down at the docks.
Always
Why
the
is
dogs.
so much? Why is it always down at the docks?
Yeah, even
What-
Catwoman had to bring the plans, the architectural plans she had to the waterfront.
Every movie's at the motherfucking docks. I've never been at the docks in my life.
Or an abandoned factory.
I will say we get a joke that kind of points at this later on in the movie from Will Arnett at the very end. I figured you're the kind of girl who wanted to meet under a bridge.
Yeah.
It's like they're kind of thumbing their nose at the idea that this is where everything happens, but so dumb.
So
Yeah.
he says a
It
few
is.
toxic things that made me uncomfortable.
Yeah, Vern wasn't all cool in this, which, by the way, that's Will Arnett's name in this, Vern.
Vern, yeah.
He wants them to concentrate on the puff pieces they've been assigned to do. There's the whole trampoline thing, which
She calls them froth pieces.
Yes, because he says it's like the froth, the foam on a latte.
Yeah. Yes.
I just get real Santorum vibes whenever somebody uses the word froth.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, not to take y'all back to 2012, but here we are.
Yeah. So I would point out that everybody at this point is wearing a light jacket, and it is the first day of spring. Just keep that in mind as we proceed through this film. It's the first day of spring, not a cloud in sight, light jackets. I mean, sure, that would put it in March in New York, so it's probably a little chilly, a little cool. It is light jacket weather, though. So she does continue to follow leads, though, on her bicycle. No subway or taxi cabs for this reporter.
It's Spider-Man's New York. There's nothing that is like regular people stuff.
No, there's
motorbikes
not.
on sidewalks.
Yeah, like you don't own a bike because it'll get stolen.
And also, crowds of people continue to congregate underneath very dangerous events happening at the tops of buildings throughout this
Maybe
film.
if you wrote a decent story, you'd get a motorbike.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you'll notice that crowd, all those people, all white people. That's some white people. Let's just stand under this building as it collapses.
So, all right, she follows leads. She ends up back down at the docks again. She witnesses an unseen hero or heroes stop the Foot Clan from stealing some scientific stuff. She doesn't see the vigilante, but she does get a picture of what she calls an ancient Japanese symbol, also known as Japanese writing.
Yeah.
Kanji. Like, that's just their words. It's not like
and everything's ancient.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she writes in the newspaper using an ancient Arabic typeface.
Exactly. So. We're using ancient Arabic symbols every day. That doesn't. All right. So she goes home and tells her roommate about it all. The roommate, whatever.
Who is Abby Elliott, by the way?
Yes. Oh, yeah. I forgot to mention her in our cast. I forgot she existed a lot. As a character, I mean.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We get 2 scenes with her.
Yeah. Yeah, we only got 2, didn't we? We didn't get a 3-beat on that character. I felt like we should have gotten a 3-beat.
She should have been moving out when she got home or something.
Yeah.
She ended up moving in with Karai when she left the movie.
They ran away together in that helicopter.
Yeah.
Time to go.
So the next day she goes to try to tell her boss about what happened the night before, but her boss doesn't think she has a story because she doesn't have a story. Then we cut to the Foot Clan. Shredder.
Oh, we see Taron Killam. We see an SNL cast member at this point.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He has a brief cameo as one of the newspaper employees.
Yeah.
Talking about being a dick. Yeah.
We cut to the Foot Clan. Shredder's angry that the operation down at the docks was unsuccessful. He orders his lieutenant, what's-her-face, to go capture the vigilante using hostages as bait.
Crud. Or Karai.
Yeah, Karai. That night, April goes to see Eric Stacks, her father's old scientist partner, at a gala event. We've got our fancy dress ball.
Yep, sure do.
They have a brief talk. Then on the way home, April sees a hubbub. a
to-do.
Yes, some goings on. She finds the Foot Clan holding hostages down in the subway. She goes down there herself.
So she was at. Oh wait, did we get to the subway already? I'm sorry.
Yeah, we just got to the
I think
subway.
we just did. Yeah.
Okay. Never mind.
Yeah, she was just in the streets.
Yeah, that's right.
She sees the hubbub, goes down to the subway. We see that the turtles are monitoring the situation. The introduction of the turtles is weird because we know it's the fucking turtles, but they're acting like it's a big reveal that they're the turtles. Like
they did this in the first movie too, where you get them in the shadows kicking the hell out of people.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like it's less for us and more for the characters in the movie, so that there is a mystery to unfold.
And I suppose the reveal is the character's design more than to the us.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Good point.
So it was like a horror movie. Once we finally saw it, we were shocked.
Yeah, shocked and appalled.
They showed them a little bit in the animated intro, which, apart from being totally unnecessary, I thought looked really cool.
Yeah, it did. The animation looked nice. It was totally fine.
When I first saw this, when I saw that, I was like, okay, well, all right, good start.
So all right,
that's where it ended.
Yeah, so they arrive, they fight the Foot Clan, they defeat them and disappear. April follows them up a fire escape where she meets the turtles.
I was disappointed that this Shredder didn't run a boys and girls club.
Right.
He needs to be more community oriented.
I think so, because I can't figure out what else he's doing.
Yeah.
What is
arcade
he
to get those numbers up through the roof.
What exactly is his motivation in
Right,
this
because
movie?
it's not revenge with Splinter like in other movies, right?
It's literally world domination.
But
he is skipping all the steps. Yeah.
World domination, just it seems like just New York initially.
He's going to hold New York hostage so that the world will do his bidding.
That was Stark's, but not Stark. The fuck, Shakes?
That's Bane. That's what Bane does. Oh no, well, because Shack's. He is a lieutenant of Shredder, and they don't explain how that happened.
Right, but there's
they do.
He says
he was
his
his
motivation
adopted
is
son from Japan. That's right.
money. Oh.
Yeah, he was raised by Shredder. Raised by Shredder. And he becomes a scientist. And he's like, but at the end he's like, we're gonna make so much money. So it's like, money is what you're after? You already live in this giant mansion in this huge estate. You clearly have a ton of it.
The tallest building in town with the tallest spire.
Like, what is this dude? Like, what is anybody doing in this movie?
It would have been interesting for him to be a villain who was like, oh, I'm just serving my master. I would have much preferred that to I serve one master, money.
Well, and to be raised by this weird guy. Shredder's all, I hate new math. Yeah. This is bullshit.
Andrew pointed out.
It was probably it was probably one of the other scenes, but did they show that Shredder learned Kung Fu from a book? Has that happened yet?
No, Splinter?
Not yet.
Splinter, yeah.
Not yet.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Andrew pointed out that he said he was going to make New York City a quarantine zone. Mission accomplished.
That works well.
Pick up some pangolins.
Yeah. All right. So, she meets the turtles. She passes out. When she wakes up, they say they erased the pictures and they warn her not to tell anyone about them. And then they run away. She does, I would point out, take another picture of them running away. She gets a fairly clear picture of them.
I love this moment. This is my favorite moment, I think, of the entire film.
Absolutely.
Was her catching them, high-fiving, and they all freeze. That is a really funny bit.
It was. This rooftop scene was, I thought, the best scene in the movie.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that Michelangelo says, when she's making my shell tight.
Yeah, Michelangelo and the sexual tension in his mind is a weird bit. So
that means he got a boner.
No, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I know what it literally means, but what a weird thing! Like, you're making my shell tight.
So I had said this before we started.
He said, "I can feel my shell tightening."
Yeah,
it's
not
gross.
You're making my shell tightening.
Right.
It's gross either way.
It's still gross. Yeah.
There are only a handful of moments in this movie that make sense thematically for the Ninja Turtles. This is number one.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one where I'm like, oh, you could put this in any Ninja Turtle movie and it would be perfect. Put it in a cartoon, perfect.
Yeah,
Right.
it was totally fine. Totally.
Even them being kind of weird, like we're gonna follow you, we'll find you. Sorry, that was creepy. Like, sure, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
all
great.
of that is fine. And like, oh, he's doing the Batman voice. Like, all that, sure, that was all
Yeah.
fine. It was funny.
Yeah.
It was light. It was felt Ninja Turtle-y. So I just was wondering, have any of you guys seen a turtle penis?
Not in particular, not
I don't know.
intentionally. I've
Yeah,
been to
I
a
was
lot of
gonna
freaky
say,
orgies.
Just FYI, they generally kind of are shaped like a stingray on the end of a big floppy stick.
That makes sense. It has to get it up under a tail and a shell. Yeah.
They're fucking gross as fuck, and that's all I could picture when
that's
Michelangelo
coming from
said
us.
that.
Who have spent
Do you
many shows
notice-
talking about duck dicks.
Tick-tocks. In the pet store when they had the boners, did you notice they tightened up a lot? Is that a thing they do?
They kind of unfurl. They come out of the back of the shell and unfurl underneath them. Kind of. Well, there's a few different kinds depending on the species of turtle, but some of them are like stingray shaped. Some of them are like a barbell, like a one, like with just the end is like a big bar. Like they're gross.
I was
They're
just
gross.
curious if
Like
Real
a dog
gross.
gets that thing hooked up in there so that it doesn't. Yeah. Ugh.
Exactly. It's so that they cannot, the female of turtle cannot get away from them.
I grew up with desert
I know
tortoises.
all that. I was wondering if they got super tight.
Dude,
Like
so
Michelangelo.
so you got turtle knowledge. Do male turtles have a curve inside their shell so they can mount a female turtle? Because I know tortoises, that's how you can kind of identify the gender.
Well, I believe so. Yeah, they're like, yeah, it's curved a bit.
Interesting.
Yeah, tortoises. Yeah. Well, and let's be fair. They are more. Well, no, they were in the water. They were turtles in the flashback.
We never see them in the water ever again, though.
Yeah.
But they're teens, so they're still developing.
Well, here's the thing. Technically, Splinter's also a teen.
Yeah.
I know.
Which was
Well, in the lore, he was the first experiment because you move from lab rat to something more.
He was
special.
also an adult rat, and they were baby turtles.
okay. But also an adult rat is still only like 2 years old.
Well, and a rat ages much faster than a turtle does. So I could see the logic.
And they're teenage, so it's been about 15 years, right?
That's
13
true.
years.
Okay, that's fair. That kind of answers my question of why he was so much older than they were.
That's why he's an elderly rat at this point.
Okay. All right, because he's aging in rat years and they're aging in turtle years. Okay.
It's science, Thoreau. Come on, man. You ran a pet store. You should know these things.
I should know how that works. All right, so she goes home. She digs up some old videos. She remembers Project Renaissance. Her father was the scientist who made the fucking turtles.
Okay, Spider-Man, anyone? Amazing Spider-Man 2. Did she have the tokens for the subway station?
What?
Yeah, for the secret one.
Okay,
This
so we
made
didn't
me
talk.
So irrationally angry.
We haven't really gotten into this yet, but I am cracking this nut right now. This movie is two things. It is the Amazing Spider-Man 2, and what was the second Batman? The third Batman, The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
It is both of those things squeezed into one.
I think it's the first Amazing Spider-Man, right? With Kurt Connors and like trying the serum.
It is the first one is with the lizard. You're right. You're right.
One.
Yeah.
Those movies are a mess, and I mush them together in my brain.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay, but like how April O'Neil was behind the turtles. She saved the turtles, and now she's investigating them. What?
Yeah.
New York is really small. It is a really small place, and if you leave some animals in the sewer, they'll stay there, and you'll stay there, and you'll run into each other from time to time, 15 years down the line.
15 years later.
Conveniently in time for this plot to unfold.
All right. So, there's all that. Meanwhile, the turtles arrive home in the sewer. Splinter's mad that they went above ground. They refuse to tell him what happened up there. Next morning, April tells Whoopi Goldberg about the turtles. Whoopi Goldberg thinks she's crazy and fires her.
I love Whoopi Goldberg's firing of her.
Yeah,
Yes.
me too.
I love Megan Fox's delivery of the story. She seems completely unhinged, but we
Yeah.
know that she's not. And it's like, yeah, of course, no one's going to believe that story.
Right. And I like the ending. Oh yeah, and they're turtles, and they're ninjas.
Oh, and they're ninjas. Yeah.
And they're ninjas.
Like at this point, this movie, it could have gotten a lot brighter. We could have gotten into some really fun stuff. But this is kind of the door falls behind that, and then we move into the dark murkiness.
Yeah.
Well, see, so the one thing I can say about this movie, the nice thing I can say is that the effects looked pretty good. Like the CGI didn't seem especially dated. It seemed fine.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. There was no uncanny valley, even though they gave them human faces to
the noses and everything was like, oh.
But you're right. It looked good, animated was.
Yeah. Character design was more the issue than the CGI itself.
Yeah, the effects were fine. Whoever did the effects were fine. I'm sure it was an amalgamation of
all their shells were different as they would be, but
and they all had the same paint on them from when they were little baby turtles, just darkened because it had stretched and the pigment was farther apart. I was like, oh, okay, I can buy that.
Sure. Yeah, that was all fine. But did anyone else find all of the action sequences super boring? Like I'm thinking of the trucks going down the hill later on.
Oh,
especially.
We have to specifically talk about that. I agree. And they were hard to, I don't mean follow as in an information way. Like they were moving so fast and so much that I couldn't get a fix on anything I was watching.
It had that Michael Bay Transformers thing where it's just an explosion of CGI going every which way, and you don't get a sense of the spatial relationship of anything.
There's too much visual information for your brain to place things in 3D.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like every single shot was spinning around people or cutting in a second and a half, spinning and cutting and flashing and like it was just unclear. The entire movie felt like one long montage. Like it was just go.
Fight scenes.
Yeah. And like Mortal Kombat style combat.
Right. Video game type.
The one-on-one spinning around, slamming down, finish him. I was waiting for
lots of opponents waiting to fight one person.
Yes.
Instead of there are 4 of them, we should gang up on all of them, all like 2 at a time, 4 at a time.
They finally figure that out.
Yeah. So
I love that their secret headquarters castle has doors that are just, you go to Home Depot right now and get stronger doors than this castle.
I know.
Will, what's his name? Just running.
Yeah. So all right. So April and Vern go to Eric's estate, or what is this? Yeah, the dude's estate. Talk to him about her father's old experiments. Meanwhile, Splinter finally gets the turtles to tell him about the night before. Splinter tells them that April's in danger, and he tells the turtles to go find her and bring her to him.
Do we see the book at this point?
Not yet.
Oh, the ninja book?
Not yet. Okay. Is this the moment where we see them with the patience thing, where he makes them all do a thing as punishment?
The Kashi.
Yeah.
This is my second moment where I went, oh, Ninja Turtles, man. And he teases them with pizza, and Splinter is kind of clever.
He's got him doing weird things like Raphael's knitting a sweater while balancing.
Yeah.
The 99 cheese pizza made by Pizza Hut.
Yes.
Yes.
This to me was a testament to the quality of the CGI too, because each of these things looked like a creature doing the thing. It didn't look like a thing happening on flat surface, like a 3D animation happening on a screen. It looked like they were living in the sewer doing these stupid acts.
Absolutely. It was very good CGI. Absolutely. So, all right. At Eric's estate, she confides in him about her discovery. Sax, that's his last name. Sax believes her He reveals that he and April's father had been experimenting on a mutagen. Is mutagen a real word, Science Al?
I believe it is.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. What is he? He like quotes to her. He like fucking quotes Elton John or something. He's like, "Don't let the sun go down on you," or some cheesy like uplifting thing. And she's like, "He's such a great dude. He knew my dad."
He was like, "Butterflies are free to fly." So
yeah,
fly.
literally. Like, it was so badly written for her character to be like, "Yeah, I'm a journalist, but I'll believe everything you say, nice man.
Well,
thank you for speaking with me."
And to point out, maybe they made it clear, I don't know, but he wasn't working on a mutagen. He was working on an antidote to that mutagen, so they could do the blackmail plot.
No, the mutagen was the antidote, and they were just going to release like, I don't know.
But one canister was red and one canister was in green.
Yeah, the red was the bad, and the green was the mutagen, which was good.
Right,
which would
so
heal
that's my
you,
point.
I guess.
They were making the bad shit as well as the good shit. In fact, the good shit to stop the bad shit. Right?
Yeah,
but I think that the Foot Clan in secret was making the red stuff. I don't know if they were making that in the lab with the turtles.
Yeah,
I thought that was turtles' blood.
I don't know. Whatever it was that they were going to spray all over everybody in New York.
Yeah,
was bad. Like Homelander at the end of season 2.
Okay,
they were going to spray it all over New York.
So the lizard had the same plan.
We have so many questions, and this is the lizard's plan. Also, this is also Bane's plan. We're going to put poison in the water and vaporize it, and everyone's going to drink it. She, as a child, saved the Ninja Turtles from the lab when it burned to the ground. Her father worked with Dr. Sachs. There we go. Dr. Sack. And she, A, doesn't remember this man. B, doesn't remember that the lab burned to the ground in like
or that there were turtles. Like in the beginning, she catches glimpses and she's like, "What?
Did she
get
massive head trauma
with my dad?"
I have so many questions about the lab burning down.
Like, does she have a brain tumor? What is happening with April O'Neil? She cannot remember anything.
Nothing.
Jumping on the trampoline at the beginning of the movie.
They have the matching colors that were painted on the back when she first saw them. So it's not even like that happened later and she doesn't recognize them. Like those are the dots of paint her or her dad put on them.
But also, all right, we'll get to because all right.
Yeah, where are we narrative wise?
Yeah. So all right.
They're leaving Sachs.
He gives her a business card when she leaves. That's a plot point. So at home that night, Donatello hacks her laptop and arranges a meeting. They meet her and take her to meet Splinter. Splinter explains this is where he explains all about the lab fire. So this lab fire, Al, go ahead.
I was gonna say I noticed that when she re-meets Splinter, when she sees the mutant Splinter for the first time, she doesn't faint.
No.
In all the other turtle movies, it was always the sight of Splinter that made everybody freak out. It's like, turtles? Fine. Oh my God, look at that giant rat.
Yeah.
I was going to say, it's New York City. Yeah. So at this point, they're, that's a typically sized rat.
She kicks one of those things off the subway platform every couple of days.
Every single day.
Yeah. So, all right. So she.
That's a good point. Yeah. She's totally fine with him.
So, yeah. All right. So we see, he explains that April saved them all from the fire, which her father purposely set to destroy Sachs' work because he was a bad scientist doing bad stuff.
Yep.
So, but here's the thing. Why was she in the lab when her father set this fire?
He needed a witness and he needed another body to show that it was an accident. Did he mean to kill his kid?
But you're right. Not just that night, ever. It's a science lab. And I don't know how strict it is, but like if you work at Texas Instruments, you have to go through this like sanitation thing and wear gloves and a suit.
Yeah, I don't think you're allowed to bring your 13-year-old daughter to the science lab.
To the genetic science lab.
Maybe it was like I don't know, Alamogordo or whatever, the Manhattan Project in New Mexico, where the whole family had to move to the science base.
Yeah.
But also,
I don't
but
know.
no, they were in New York.
I don't know.
And also,
Well, yeah. So
she was in the building. She was right there to
They-
save the turtles when he set the fire.
they lived there. They lived in the building.
So
They-
okay,
They had the flat just upstairs
this is a high rise.
with a mini fridge.
This they lived above the ceiling tiles in the bathroom.
And a
This
hot
is a
plate.
high rise with a very sophisticated fire suppression system. It's not Trump Tower. I mean, it's got like it is a science lab. This has real fire suppression gear in there. You could ignite a gigantic fire and it would put it out.
I was going to
We
say,
see-
yeah, it would spray CO2. It wouldn't be water.
Yeah.
You
We
go to
see
lab.
fire and nothing happens.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No backup alarms, no nothing. This is important research that
it's just fire.
could save
also-
humanity.
Yeah. And okay, so Eric,
Yeah,
I was gonna say
what
these-
burns in a science lab? I'm sorry,
Andrea makes a great point too. She runs into the
Yeah.
lab to save the animals, but not her dad.
Yeah, Thoreau
Yeah.
mentioned that earlier. Like, she doesn't even think about him.
But yeah, but also like she. All right,
Well,
so
she can't carry 4 turtles, a rat, and her dad at the same time.
It's true.
It's too heavy.
Also, we find out that Sax shot her dad. Where was she when he was shooting the dad? Because she was there to get the turtles and rat.
Okay, did he shoot him after the fire had gone out? Because he was engulfed in flames. This man was.
I don't know.
Her father was on fire. He was like a man in one of those fire suits. Like it wasn't like he wasn't like
Yes.
he wasn't like smoke inhalation. Oh my god! Like we saw his
Right.
body on fire.
He
Did
wasn't.
shoot him?
He wasn't just partying around a fire.
But he set himself on fire. He didn't light the lab and run away. He lit the lab on fire and just stayed there.
I think he accidentally set himself on fire and intentionally set the lab on fire. He's like, oh shit. Well,
He's
I'm
got a
gonna
really
die
goofy
anyway.
Jim
I thought
Carrey
some
way
of
of
this
doing
would make
things.
a little more sense when we talked about it, but it's only getting worse.
It's only getting worse.
peeling that onion.
But-
Stinky,
I know,
stinky.
I know there's paperwork and I know there are plastics that are light enough, but like what burns in a science lab? It just every
Alcohol.
science lab is just engulfed and like every piece of machinery is on
Just
fire.
whoosh,
Yeah.
just goes up. Everything's gone. Okay, so here's the other question. Did she have a mom?
Yeah.
I assume that her mother was raising her still. I don't think she was an orphan.
It would have been nice if we'd seen the mom just as she was like, Mom, do you remember when that fire happened with Dad? Like just something.
Right, and
like-
she's like, I do remember because you saved fucking turtles instead
And not
of
your father. Well, and it would have been a great moment for her to say, like, oh, I never told you. But
I
he
hate
did
that.
get shot also.
We never
Like-
figured out who did it.
The police asked me a bunch of questions about how your father got shot in a fire. Like,
I was like, you know how
And
that goes.
His partner, Eric Sachs, was missing a bullet from his gun, but he said that it was someone else and
Like,
they ran away
yeah.
with some turtle.
if you shoot a human being and you leave the body and the bullet, maybe the fire was so hot it melted the slug. Like, I've seen enough crime procedurals. They could be like, oh, dude, the rifling on this matches the handgun that's registered to this person. You're the prime suspect because you're the only human being who has a key to the fucking lab. Like,
Oh,
do you have any
yeah.
handguns registered in your name, Mr. Sachs?
No,
And-
I have a license for fire.
It's like, oh no, I had a box of ammunition that must have accidentally gone off during that lab fire.
So, all right. So then we discover that Sachs is in league with Shredder.
Who
They're gonna
we
use
don't
it-
know who is.
Yeah, who is his
No.
dad?
Or why.
Yeah, his adopted father, Shredder.
Right. When did he immigrate to the United States and why?
Why is he in the United States? Why is he what
I,
is what
I
is
don't
he
think he's there
doing?
legally.
Yeah, or does
Well,
Shredder have
when
dual
he adopted-
citizenship?
He snuck
know?
in through the docks.
Oh, he just raised the kid. He didn't adopt him. I see.
But like, also, how did this white dude end up growing up in Japan, being adopted by Shredder?
And then becoming a multi-billionaire businessman in New York City.
And also, this guy is like 50 years old.
Is it
Shredder's
like in the?
30.
Is it in like in the Departed, where Jack Nicholson pays to send what's his name to the police academy so that he could be
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Matt
his
Damon.
tool? Yeah, Matt
Yeah.
Damon, right?
That-
He never wanted to
that
be a
might-
cop. Nicholson made him be a cop, so he would
Yeah.
have a cop.
That might be, but like also Shredder's like 35 years old and this dude's like 50.
No, I agree.
The heavy scarring just makes him look like he's an old man. That was they were like,
Yeah.
don't worry about it.
And
He'll
that-
look old, burn scars or whatever.
That small little white orphan walking the streets of Tokyo just grabbed his heart. He seems
He
evil.
adopts-
And every
That
other
small
No.
30-year-old man.
He adopted Sax when Sax was 35.
It's like Batman and Robin.
Yeah, he's like 19 and Sax is 35. Yeah, it's like
He's like,
Robin
I'm gonna
adopting
adopt-
Batman.
Right?
We're already kind of running a lot of things. Nope.
So all right. So yeah, this is also where he explains to them that they have no connection to ninjutsu.
Yep.
He teaches them ninjutsu because he happens to find a book about it,
A
He
book.
found a book in the sewer.
Yes.
about ninjutsu. And
Were
so they
there
became
ninjas
ninja masters?
Training in the sewer before they took over the
Right.
little sewer place? Was that
Was
like
Do they write
previously
shit
used?
down?
Was that Shredder's book that got lost?
Yeah,
Because he's a
He,
fighter.
he misplaced it in the park and it ended up in the sewer.
Yeah, it
Right,
washed
maybe
into
that's
the
why they're
drain.
evenly matched.
happy fucking accident that they learned ninjutsu. Otherwise, how would they have fought Shredder?
Right. And then they
But-
make it so that like Splinter, that's why, it feels like he's so much older, because it seems like he's been studying ninjutsu for years and years and years, and was once such a powerful warrior.
Well,
But
and
he taught
himself.
himself kung fu, and then he taught those 4 turtles.
So
And then
if,
there's Shredder over here for some reason, and he's equally matched all these people as if he had read the same book.
Shredder also learned ninjutsu 5 years earlier from a book he found in the sewer.
For more information on kung fu, consult your local library.
so if I remember Turtles lore correctly, Splinter was the pet rat of Master Yoshi,
Yes, that's what I
Um,
remember.
who was killed by Shredder.
Right.
Prior to being killed, while just a rat in his
Uh-huh.
cage, would mimic the movements
Yeah,
of his
exactly.
master
Yep.
Yes.
before he got any mutagen on him
Well, right,
whatsoever. So
That's the
he's just a
problem.
regular rat, like doing
Right.
ninja moves in his cage. Probably crude, but anyway,
He's not registered for the class officially.
that kept popping into my mind, especially when the book magically appeared in the sewer.
They could have
And
put a
this-
kung fu like dojo across, or a ninjutsu dojo across the sewer grate from where they were
Have them
watching
with
or something.
real
And like,
training.
Anything
yeah,
other than I found a book.
I found
What
a
if they
book.
found a book on Pilates?
And
And
like
they
you
were
said,
like exercise masters.
Or
like,
capoeira.
or like
Like you
tap
said,
dancing,
Right?
yeah, what if it was a different?
or like a cookbook. They're like, oh, I don't know, we got really good at making breakfast, but
Yeah,
I
it's a
never learned how to
cookbook.
fight.
And Al's right, he hasn't been mutated yet, so it's weird that the rat is so, aware. But even that in this movie would have not only been made sense, but been satisfied. Like that explains it, that he observed a true master
Yeah.
for years and years and years and years. But
Yeah.
But
a
instead,
book,
he's able.
I could read a book on plumbing right now, and that doesn't mean I'm
Right.
a fucking plumber.
Experience is much more than reading a book. Like,
Absolutely. So much more. So much
Who's he
more.
fought? Who's he ever fought? He lives in the shadows
Yeah.
of the sewer.
does he fight
No.
like dogs or something, or is he
Right.
like?
Splinter's
Other
never
rats?
fought anybody when he faces off against Shredder. Of
That's
course
true.
he lost.
He also tells them don't go anywhere. They've never fought anybody.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Huh? I didn't even consider that. That like them sneaking out, like that makes sense. But without Splinter being actually trained, it's just a bunch of like mall ninjas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the
Also,
most
where did they
disappointing-
get their weapons?
Yeah.
Right.
Somebody
Right.
flushed him down the sewer.
Yep.
Flushed him down the toilet.
Because Splinter gave them
Blacksmith.
the weapons. You see him ceremoniously
Somebody flushed
hand each one of them their weapon.
Right, but where did these come from?
Yeah.
Did he buy them? Did he go into a store and like, hello, I am not a rat. I just have a terrible deformity. I'd like to buy some ninja weapons, please. They're like, you don't want a gun? Look
wanna
at
say
you. You
that
should get a gun,
someday.
man.
I am not a rat. But
I am normal human, Master Splinter. Master, eh? Master of what?
of what? And their weapons, speaking of, seemed to be made of adamantium or vibranium. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Right. Yeah. So wait. So this is the point. This is the point where Splinter or where Shredder gets a robot suit.
That's
Yeah.
what,
Well, that Sax made for him. I was thinking Shaq because
Yeah.
steel, like Shaquille O'Neal made this
But
steel suit.
like,
I'm always thinking.
he's
about
not
Shaq.
like a
Same.
robotics engineer. He was
He's a
working on like
geneticist.
viruses.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
also, what the fuck is this robot suit? We'll get there, but like, I get it. It's Darth Vader. Shredder is Darth Vader. It
Right.
makes sense. But in this movie,
Yeah.
what the fuck is this robot
Is he
suit?
just gonna?
What is this?
Is he
Well,
gonna
we're
keep
kinda
wearing
there
it for
because
the rest
he
of his life?
Right? Is this is
Yeah.
beyond prosthetic? Like, oh, you're having a hard time getting around. I love you, Dad. I made you a suit because I am a billionaire. Cool.
Yeah.
It's like, no, this thing has magnetic swords that like loop-de-loop that you can shoot,
Mhm.
recall back to you.
Yeah.
Like-
But also, like, why did he make this suit for Shredder? Who was Shredder fighting?
After
Required this suit prior
It's
to the
the-
Turtles.
if their plan worked, what does he need that suit for?
Yeah.
But also this plan was like put on hold for 15 years.
Yeah, you're right.
Maybe this was like a side project. He's like, while we wait, I'd really love a robot suit. I don't know if I ever told you that was a dream of mine.
When I get to that, yeah. Did
So,
we
all right.
already? Did we already totally go over that ice?
No. We're not
No.
anywhere
Okay.
close. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
all right. So he gets the robot suit, and they track the turtles down through the business card. The business card had a tracking device in it.
That's right.
They find the turtles in the sewer and they attack the turtles. Shredder fights Splinter, and this is like the Mortal Kombat scene Al was kind of talking about.
The first
one
one.
of them, the first one, yeah. So yeah, Splinter and Shredder fight, and then they take 3 of the turtles. Raphael and April stay behind. Splinter is injured.
Because
Okay.
Raphael
Splinter is
was-
dodging swords that are being shot rapid fire at him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's like dodging like the pellets in a shotgun blast.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yes. Yeah, and also there's a point where they get shot point blank in the chest, and they're fine. I guess their shells are bulletproof, even the best bullets.
Sorry.
So all right. So Splinter's mortally wounded. He's just hanging on. He tells April and Raphael to save the turtles. Donatello has a tracker on him, so they know that they're at Sax's estate.
Oh,
His
well,
estate.
real quick. Splinter wasn't bleeding, was he?
I didn't see any.
Because the
blood.
final blow was like a really hard punch to the chest, and
Yeah.
Shredder didn't stab him.
Yeah.
No, he just
Yeah.
punched.
him.
Well, he
How
says
does he
to
know that rat?
he says to them, "Drop your weapons, or the old man gets it," and then he punches him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why didn't he just kill him? Like, I don't
Here's another-
understand. I get it. It's a kids' movie, and for the
needed
plot,
them to. Oh, I see. Yeah.
but
Yeah, I'm running through my unanswered questions early, but how the fuck did Splinter know who Shredder was?
That's
He
exactly what I mean.
He explains to them who Shredder is, but he had no history with Shredder. How
Right.
did he know Shredder even existed?
How did
Maybe he wrote
Shredder
the
know
book?
Splinter did?
yeah,
The book. He found another book. The book was titled "Where to Find the Turtle."
it's like New
Right.
York Ninjutsu, class of 1963.
But Splinter explains Shredder and like Spooky whatever the dude's name
Shaq.
is. Shaq.
Shaquille
O'Neal. I don't know. He explains their entire history. How does Splinter know that?
He found another book entitled Evil Ninja Masters currently residing in New York City.
Yeah, it was actually a book inside that book. It was a small pamphlet that was just in there.
And there was another one that said, yes, you might see a talking rat.
that Shredder was reading. Yeah. So, all right. So Splinter, he's dying, yada, yada. They go to find the turtles, where Sack is collecting turtle blood to harvest the mutagen.
It's funny because it's such a simple word, but none of us can get Stack out.
His name should have been something else. His name should have been Dr. Gregory or something.
Something. This is a bad name.
Okay, so we're now with Dr. Paperbag, and he is explaining to the Foot Clan, the goons, what they're doing with the turtles. He's not briefing the scientists. He is talking to goons. We're going to take their blood and we're going to do all this scientific stuff with it. And the goons are like, cool. Why are you telling us this? Should we be out there watching the door? Like,
right, the door. You know, there's two in the back going, do you even care about this shit? No, I don't.
I feel like I'm here for the dental plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Lisa needs braces.
They have an arcade. It's great.
Yeah, they have an arcade.
I showed up at the Boys and Girls Club and they got me this job.
Safety first, then friendship.
Yeah. So, all right. So, April, Raphael, and Will Arnett head to Sack's estate. They burst in.
She is just, in this movie, she does nothing but move the plot forward and be a sexed pot, basically.
Yeah, absolutely.
She calls him to, I need you to pick me up and take me to this guy's place. And he's like, cool, baby, I'll meet you there. Let me finish this sandwich. Oh, yeah, I'm going to get
Parmesan cheese and mustard.
A Parmesan and mustard sandwich, which is a delicacy.
She's hanging out the window taking pictures, and they showed two different shots of her ass. And Vern makes the joke. What?
I was just going to say a close-up of her ass.
Both of the heart-shaped yellow. Yeah,
This is a children's movie.
Right.
Not unlike Transformers.
Her partner and friend wants to fuck her.
Oh, God. Yeah. Her introduction in Transformers is like it's that close to being Playboy.
Yeah. It was like a Maxim cover from like 2006. But I
think Michael Bay has muses the same way Woody Allen does.
Gross.
Yeah, and it just feels gross throughout the whole thing. Every time, like, it's one thing for Michelangelo because he's a teenager, right. Like I get that. Like he is a sexually frustrated turtle who is attracted to women. Right. That's weird enough.
Aren't we all?
But for a grown man who is her coworker to be like, you just got fired, baby, let's go out. Like,
right. I thought they were to
the nth degree.
Sexually frustrated turtle is my Reddit username, by the way.
I knew that was you.
Mine is Stingray Dick.
Yeah, you know way too much about turtle penises.
I love all this pet store info.
All right, so they go in, and this is the point where Sax and all of the goons disappear.
For the rest of the film.
They just disappear. They go away. And, the goons disappear long enough for Shredder to fight Raphael one-on-one. And then Shredder, while they're saving the other turtles, also just disappears and goes away.
Yeah, why is there a timeline on this? Why do they have to leave so quickly? Like, I assume the goons were going there so they could be preparing the site for Shredder because he's getting there by helicopter. They're like, if he gets there by helicopter and we're not there, he's going to stab us with those shooting swords.
But all of the goons, which then shortly chase them down the snowy hill, disappear long enough for them to rescue the turtles and get out of the building. Where are all the fucking goons while they're rescuing the turtles? Why aren't they fighting goons at this point?
Because they're having a weird race down a mountain.
There was a Mortal Kombat tournament in the arcade, and everybody was talking about it.
That's all. They were excited. I just want to point something out. for maybe 4 or 5 years, I grew up in upstate New York, where my family was from. And it was a ways from New York City. It was maybe 5 hours away or so. The only mountain range in between New York City and where I lived was the Catskill Mountains. And the Catskills are low enough that you can hike them. You can hike one side to the other pretty easily. The other set of mountains in New York are the Adirondacks up by Canada. Now, this takes place in Manhattan, close enough for the helicopter to come and go. What mountain range are they?
And close enough for them to sewer travel.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Anyway,
And
the
this is my other
airspace,
question.
they're entering New York airspace.
Well, that's where they always take the pictures from Manhattan. You see, like the ocean. There's actually a mountain right there, just in the
Yeah,
ocean.
is that what it is?
They don't take those pictures from helicopters. That's
Robert Bonds in Superman 3.
how far is the nearest cliff from Manhattan?
From Manhattan?
The nearest mountain.
There might be a cliff in Westchester, somewhere in Dutchess County.
But also, here's the other thing. It was the first day of spring in Manhattan. light jacket weather.
You're right.
And yet they travel to this snowy, wintry place that's close enough that they can travel by sewer. That's maybe an hour outside of the city, it seems.
Right.
Climate change.
At least an hour more. Most of the rich people that live in New York City actually live in like Westchester and Poughkeepsie and places that are like just 25 to 100 or 75 miles from Manhattan. That's usually where the rich people live. But this dude has an old school castle on top of a
Also,
snowy
Those
mountain.
look like the Alps. They look like the fucking Alps.
As much as we've been complaining, we haven't been talking about the scale of these mountains, because there is a 5-minute
You're right.
truck drive down the mountain. That means this mountain is huge.
Right. And nothing causes an avalanche. Nothing does. Not these giant trucks. Nothing.
Right, exactly. Well, and also, yeah. So like this.
I want to do the math on the speed of this truck and the time it takes them to get down the mountain.
I would also like to point out that there was a point where they said 12 seconds till we go over the cliff, and I counted. It was 2.5 minutes from the time they said 12 seconds until they went over the cliff.
And they had their scene of Michelangelo on a skateboard, so they managed to get in there.
On a mountain.
On a mountain.
Oh,
I don't know.
Skateboard.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, and I forgot to mention this earlier. We didn't get introduced to the turtles properly until we were 22 minutes into this movie. At the 22-minute mark is when she took the picture of the turtles on top of the building. 22 minutes in an hour and 40-minute movie.
Jeez.
So, anyways, all right, yeah. So they get the turtles. They go down the mountain on the trucks. Meanwhile, Shredder has left and is helicoptering into Manhattan to the top of this building where there's been a tank of toxins that has been sitting there for 15 years waiting for them to release it.
Years. And I love how they're so casual. It's like, soon we'll be entering Manhattan airspace. That's no longer an airspace you want to enter. New York is now pretty strict on,
you need a specialized
vehicles.
permit. Yeah.
After
that helicopter? I don't know. Shoot it the fuck out of the sky. Because last time we didn't.
There was an early fall day in the early 2000s that kind of changed what you can do over Manhattan's airspace.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, there would have been fighter jets scrambled in this scenario, regardless of the helicopter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fool me once.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
They will just shoot that down.
They're like, debris falling off a building? We should scramble the National Guard. Like,
yes, debris falling off. Yes, a building, the top of a building coming down in Manhattan post September 2001. There's going to be some shit going down with the federal government.
Yeah.
Anyway, so all right, in the city, they're up on top of the things. Sax is in the lab in that building. April and Vern, they go and confront him. The turtles go to the top. They fight Shredder. So Sax is in this building.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Al.
I just looked back. There was a moment when they were on the mountain sliding down. When Donnie gets to be the badass because Rolf is hurt. He jumps out and he says, "I've always wanted to try this," and he bow vaults the truck.
Yes.
Which was fun for me. I thought it was great.
It was.
And they have the slow motion of it going over him. Well, not really slow motion because in real time he's like chuckling like a nerd.
Yeah,
he's doing his little nerd laugh.
Giddy.
Because it worked.
So and once again, where's this wood from?
And he snorts.
That is my question.
What is it?
What sort of wooden staff can withstand a truck traveling at that speed?
It's made from Groot.
But it's also like it also has some sort of propellant in it because he like shot something at Mikey when they were younger.
Oh yeah.
He shot something out of it, so it's all like tricked out tech wise.
Oh, well, then it can surely withstand a speeding truck coming down a mountain if it's tricked out.
Yeah, it's just a vinyl wood sticker on the outside. It's not actually wood; it's vibranium too.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, back to the tower.
So, Shredder's on top of the tower. And
they fight him individually first.
For some reason.
Well, we see where the foot are. They're all in that one room.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah. And they stay there.
Where
they just stay there.
Where the one guy that doesn't have his mask on is not Japanese.
So this is...
I'm a hand soldier.
This is my third moment in this movie where I said to myself, you know what? They really nailed it on this. You get the dinging of the elevator, and you get one of the Ninja Turtles playing with his sticks, and then the other one playing with the sword, and they start beatboxing. And I was like,
that was fun. It was a fun.
This is cool. This is a cool, like, you get that break. There's got to be a trope name for this, like, break before the battle.
Right. And they're like being
funny. I got the impression that there was something wrong with the elevator at first.
Oh, they went in. They thought they were in the elevator, and then they weren't in an elevator.
Oh, okay.
That was, and then they were like, "Oh, that's not the elevator." That was when they ran into all the goons. They turned the wrong corner. But yeah, this to me, the running into the goons like Han Solo and Chewbacca and freaking A New Hope, like and then getting chased because they are wildly outnumbered.
Yeah,
these two moments, I was like, oh, we might make the landing of this movie. We might have. Right. It might have been the snow that screwed this whole thing up, but we can make the landing. Boy, was I wrong.
Yeah. It's funny you mention it because it totally reminded me of this scene where Han and Chewie are in stormtrooper uniforms and they're just trying to everything's good. Bye. So they could have had that moment as well.
Yeah, it was it was humanizing. It was funny. It made them all have individual personalities in the situation. Like, we got a lot of character development in this tiny little drop, and then back to Michael Bay style Transformers chaos.
Right,
yeah, and with equally matched opponents.
I found myself just looking at my phone so much during the battles. Like,
yeah, me too.
It was just so boring. The CGI,
I had to rewatch from the snow to the end again.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I have to rewatch it. I did not pick up anything that happened. Oh my God. It just becomes a blur.
He has these detachable magnetic claws, but then once again, Kung Fu style, he's as matched with Raphael and the other turtles as they are with him. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
How did they learn the same styles?
Yeah,
I mean, Al's explanation from earlier movies explains that, but it's like they're fighting with the same style.
Yeah,
like a scene in Kill Bill or something. Yeah.
They should have made Shredder should have had like mail in, like you call in and he sends out like a tape of how to do kung fu, and that's where he got his fortune. And he just happened to be a secret villain.
I think Shredder wrote that book.
Yeah, Shredder wrote the book. You didn't.
Yeah.
I see.
Splinter's paw was covering the author.
That being said, it would have been really cool if it had been
humans.
like a video format thing where they're like, I don't know, we mailed in to get some ninja stuff out of the back of this book that was written by Shredder. That's how they know what he looks like and they recognize his voice because he's always the one directing the. Like, there's a way to tie that shit in to make it make sense.
There is a way, yeah.
Or you just don't make it that convoluted, and Splinter has a connection to Shredder.
That's true.
Yeah,
it's easy to do.
But all right, so yeah, and there's this. So they're like they take out Sax. And there's this shot where he like Will Arnett like distracts Sax so he won't shoot April, and he turns to shoot Will Arnett like 5 feet away and just misses him.
No, he hits him, but
He does?
also Will Arnett shouts the name O'Neill. He shouts O'Neill. He has a microscope in his hand.
This was a terribly edited moment because I was
does Vern know that they used to work together?
See,
what was that?
I don't know why he didn't pick up two microscopes and throw one at him as the distraction, and then hit him with the other one.
You cock the microphone.
I didn't even realize he got shot in that moment because he's not on screen when Sax turns and shoots.
Well, and then you think that he's dead. And then he's not dead. And then he's like, oh, he got me in the shoulder. I'm not going to get up. It's so poorly edited.
There's no emotional collateral in this whatsoever.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Even if you were a huge Turtles fan, nobody is put in enough danger for you to worry about them, which is crucial for storytelling.
Well, yeah. Okay. Yes. All right. So then she takes the mutagen upstairs. She distracts Shredder while they disarm the bomb. Shredder causes the tower to fall. Turtles hang on to it, and somehow the falling's fine for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't understand what happened.
Was the tank of stuff at the top? Was that was that his plan? He's like, I'm going to knock this over and it's going to spill into Times Square.
They said something about when it hits the ground, it's going to explode and take out a 10-block region, but then they don't do anything to stop that from happening, and it's just all okay. Like, what even happened?
One canister was red and one was green. I don't understand.
I don't understand any of what actually happened to stop the exploding badness. And they didn't do anything.
We get the classic C-3PO what are the odds of us stopping this tower from falling over? And he goes 0.0003%. It's like, that is a very small percentage of success.
After they Six Flags style down to the ground, they land on their feet.
Yep.
Yeah.
With the
like turtles always do.
So
the old saying, a turtle always lands on his feet.
Okay, so was the canister...
So that prevents the explosion?
Was the canister at the top of the tower and not in the middle of it? Because if it was at the top of the tower, it dragging down the sides of a building, it's going to rip that canister open and pour it into the building and down onto the ground.
Yeah.
Just as dangerously as it exploding, I assume.
I mean, Al, I think you're right. Like, that's the explanation, but also, what?
Yeah.
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 What?
It was all luck. That's the reason why nobody died in the 10-block radius. That's really...
Yeah. They didn't save anything. They didn't save anything.
No,
well,
there were no stakes.
They stopped Shredder.
They stopped Shredder from making it airborne, so they mitigated the risk of that size of damage. But the 10-block radius thing was just luck.
Yeah.
Which is awful.
And they dealt with this, but... What about Shredder? Did Shredder die?
Plot point after plot point in this was coincidence and luck.
Did Shredder die because on the ground he is still moving? I hate that.
I think that it was because they knew there was going to be a sequel and they wanted to leave that door open a crack.
Okay, so this plan failed. People know the turtles exist. So what's Shredder up to for the rest of his life? He just retires.
He's just FBI's most wanted man.
Yeah. So
looking for a man in a silver samurai outfit
who loves dogs and Indian food.
So all right, the turtles go back into the sewer. They inject Splinter with the mutagen. Apparently that saves his life.
Apparently.
Sure, why not? I guess it's fine at this point. Who cares?
Yeah. Was he dying also this whole time?
They left him alone in the sewer dying this whole time, but and he was on the verge of death when they got back.
I will say this about the end sequence of this movie. One thing, considering that we're now to Master Splinter, one thing made me feel a little bit better about this, especially because I watched it twice, because I didn't remember how it ended the second time. I am so glad that Splinter did not jump out of nowhere, ha, here I am to fight you, Shredder. And be the thing like Iron Man showing up to save Spider-Man kind of thing, which
a trope.
Which makes sense in a plot, but for him to be the Deus Ex Machina device to show up, be like, I am the master. We need to fight each other again.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that didn't happen.
I'm so happy too. But it would make more sense because again, they're roughly the same age. They would have been trained in similar ways.
Well, and they left Splinter alive. He is now a Chekhov's gun sitting on a shelf. He's gonna come back, right? I mean. He's gonna come back, right? I kept thinking that he's gonna fucking jump off the tower. He's somehow gonna be waiting up there the whole time, knowing where this building is.
He's just gonna either come up with other schemes or just go on with his life. I don't understand. His son died.
So all right. So then at the end, April meets with Vern under the bridge. He tries to ask her on a date. The turtles show up. They blow up his car. They sing "Happy Together" because it's by the Turtles.
Oh,
I didn't even put that together, man.
I didn't even think about it.
Okay, that's the only. Well, I was like, why are they singing "Happy Together"? I was like, oh, the Turtles, because it's such an old, unrelated song that makes no sense narratively, other than it being by the Turtles.
This is the one thing for them to end the movie this way. I was like, cool. We got a tech upgrade. They're all happy again. They are now more brotherly and more united than they had been throughout the entire movie. They're still catty and fighting with each other throughout.
Yeah, it was a fine scene. Yeah.
But it made me realize this movie needed a better soundtrack. If we had funny music beats throughout the entire movie instead of dramatic music, like orchestral score throughout the movie, it would have changed. It could have been because Guardians could have had this kind of score throughout the entire movie.
Oh, it would have been so much worse
and been a bad movie as a result.
No, this was entirely the wrong. The score, I think, was 25% of it being so bad.
It is the weakest part of the entire film by far.
Because there was literally a point where they're fighting, and there was a literal choir going, "Oh!"
It's like Thor: Dark World, where you're like, why is this music so dramatic? Oh my god!
This is not a grand operatic thing. Right. This is the Turtles. Have fun
So
with it.
Al, did you notice anything with the music at the end?
You're
usually our guy that points it out, but it's a total explainer song, and not.
There is an explainer song.
It's not good, but it's details.
I was just happy to be out.
Rap? Al, was there?
No, there was not a ninja rap. Hang on, I just saw it on IMDb somewhere, but I wrote down because I didn't see it in the credits. I wrote down a bit of the lyrics. Knock knock, you're about to get shell shocked.
It's pretty tight.
I'll accept it.
Yeah.
I mean, cheesy turtle explainer songs I'm cool with.
Totally.
We had those from the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Heroes in a nutshell, they're on a mission.
Dat Boom by Brian Tyler.
Don't you ever say that to me again.
Wait.
We did have Holla Back Girl in there somewhere.
Oh yeah, Holla Back Girl.
Which played as a funny bit when they were little baby turtles watching it.
Yeah.
It was Shell Shocked was the name of the explainer song. Performed by it's written by a lot of people. Performed by Juicy J, Moxie, Ty Dolla $ign, and Wiz Khalifa.
Wiz
Khalifa.
Okay, so Brian Tyler, who did the soundtrack, Iron Man 3, Avengers: Age of Ultron, Thor: Ragnarok.
Ooh. Interesting.
I think that this was poor direction. This is what we want for the movie. We want it to be grand scope, dramatic.
Yeah, it was a bad choice going with that kind of
or
score.
it could have been.
I don't
It could have
think
been as simple as Michael Bay. Like, we have a lot of recorded music already.
Yeah.
Go back and use something we have.
Well, like it doesn't even like. So I'm not. I don't think the score was bad. Like it wasn't badly composed music. I don't blame the composer. It was a bad choice to use this type of score.
Yeah,
The way that it fit. Yeah.
Yeah, 100% was wrong thematically.
No, Michael Bay doesn't care about those details at all.
No.
Never has.
So I have this under unanswered questions, so it's not even really a question. It was just a trope that I noticed that drives me insane. Keys in the sun visor. Keys in the fucking sun visor. Please. Keys. Car keys in the sun visor. You know that trope?
There's
in New York City.
Oh yeah, in New York City. Oh my God. There's only one time I've ever seen that and I've enjoyed it, and that was Breaking Bad.
I forgot
because
they were there the whole time.
Because it subverted the trope, and we were waiting, and it seemed like there was no way out, and it was like serendipity, like the clouds opened and light shined down on him. Any other time, and that was subverting that trope. I mean, successfully.
Yeah, actually doing the keys in the sun visor trope, I will not accept that post Terminator 2.
Yeah.
I will not.
I would much rather a screwdriver into the ignition and have it work.
Yes.
Well, and actually, it could have been very funny because he immediately is like, I guess this is a hot wire situation. And his next comment is, it's all red and white cables, right? Indicating that he has no clue. So there could have been a funny moment of him trying to hotwire a van. That was right. It's like, gotta get moving.
Yeah, if they had played that out for a few more seconds, the beats would have made it funny and functional. Yeah.
It seemed like he knew what he was doing, and then,
Okay.
They rushed every funny bit. They didn't let anything sit and breathe at all.
Not for a fucking no. This movie felt like an hour and 40-minute montage. It was just go, like constantly.
And there were
moving.
no stakes.
To me, the only moments that make any sense in this movie are the ones where it was funny and they let the humor sort of settle for a brief moment.
Just do its thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Best moment in the movie was the turtles freeze when the picture's taken.
Yep.
Absolutely best moment in the movie.
Or the elevator, but like like Brian said, they rushed it. They didn't have to rush it. That little beatbox thing could have.
Yeah.
They lived together under sewer for 15 years. Like, of course, they would have their little things, but they didn't let it land.
Yeah. So a few things. Police Code 1010 was called when they saw the thing happening on the building. Police Code 1010 is fight in progress. I don't know what falling debris has to do with that.
Not just debris, a whole tower, a steel tower.
Like mass civilian casualty would have been the radio call on that. Like potential for loss of life.
Search and rescue.
Yeah, all units, please. This is insane.
Yeah.
Not fight in progress.
There is a man in a silver samurai armor on the roof fighting giant aliens.
Okay, unanswered question. So April got her job back?
But she kept the turtles a secret.
Yes. She kept.
How did she get her job back?
Did she get her job back? Was that answered in that final one? I don't feel like they told us.
I don't think they said anything about it.
No, I don't think she did because Will Arnett's character is explaining to her how he got the car, which she would have known if they were at work together.
I feel like he would have gotten fired for losing the van. That's a $80,000 piece of equipment he has with all that stuff in there.
Yeah, at least. Oh my God, yeah, some radio.
Maybe like a
very
200.
expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why didn't she show Whoopi Goldberg the pictures she took of the turtles? She did get the one of them jumping off the roof. She just didn't show that to Whoopi Goldberg.
She didn't seem really interested in telling too many people about them, though she was following them like an investigator.
Well, and she was telling Whoopi Goldberg about them. She just didn't show her the one piece of solid evidence she had.
Yeah.
She showed them pictures of turtles from Wikipedia.
Yeah.
She did.
Yeah, weird. Like box turtles.
Right. So how far down the list does it go?
Oh, yeah.
Hold on.
Oh, was
wait,
there
wait.
another scene?
No, well-
We're on answered questions now.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I had nothing but, so I can't think of anything.
Yeah, I think that's all the rest.
So I have a question, but it has nothing to do with the plot. It is about the casting of the adult men who played the Ninja Turtles. Who in their right mind thought that the voice of 4 Ninja Turtles in 2014 should be 4 men well into their 30s?
Yeah.
Or white
Or
men
Johnny-
well into their 30s.
Johnny
Johnny
Knoxville
Knoxville
was
being
probably like over
40. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't it make sense to cast some 20-something people?
Yeah.
Like, you have a black cast member, a Puerto Rican guy, an Asian guy, and a
Some
white guy.
Disney show kids.
And they all have slightly different tonality that you can hear. They all have more characterization naturally. Instead, we got 4 white guys who I could not tell apart with the exception of Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which all I heard was Johnny Knoxville.
I was I bought that Donatello and Michelangelo were teenagers.
Yeah, Michelangelo was probably one I bought the most.
Raphael
those
and
two.
Leonardo sounded like adult turtles.
Yeah.
I mean, Raphael sounded like Christian Bale doing Batman. They literally made the joke about it, but like, it doesn't make sense. They are 15 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Like, cast someone who's 21. You know,
and so that makes Splinter roughly 45.
Yeah.
If that.
Yeah, I mean, if he's aging in rat years, I guess.
Yeah.
One of the first things that bothered me was when we saw the shipping container get picked up and used to knock the Foot Clan into the river.
Yeah.
Because the turtles were never that strong in
No.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
They didn't
They're
have
bulletproof now. So.
super strength. Yeah, and that was the other thing. Is their skin bulletproof also?
Yes, because they were getting hit in arms and legs and stuff. Like, they were just bulletproof
a
everywhere.
Shredder stabs Raph in the side.
The slow blade pierces the shield.
Pierces the shell.
So, all right, guys, are you ready to rank it?
Yeah.
All right. So,
If we have
I mean, way
to.
down low. I don't mean that I don't care, but it was so bad that you could put it anywhere low.
Where's Turtles in Time?
We have at number 69 out of 109.
I just want to shout out that the epic rap battles of history video that I sent to you guys was a better Turtles movie than this was.
You're right.
Yeah.
Oh, you think Jumper?
Funnier anyway.
Yeah.
Ron Steele? Yeah, because he's still a League of.
I mean, is this better than Hero at Large? Because I could argue that it's better than Hero at Large.
Oh, Hero at Large was actually that's way too high for Hero at Large, honestly. Now that if we're actually going to talk about it, Hero at Large should not be at number 70, but that's a whole another story.
Then you can put it between those two. I think it was more about John Ritter, if I recall. I think
Hulk.
we're talking about
Let's
him.
look at Hulk. Is this better than Ang Lee's Hulk?
I mean, is this better than Toxic Avenger Part 2? Yeah, I think it's better than Toxie and Punisher Warzone. Not better than Howard the Duck. I draw the line at Howard.
I don't know. Punisher Warzone was so much fun. I enjoyed it a lot more than I enjoyed this.
That's true. That's fair. Yeah,
You
I'll
can put
take
it
that.
between Toxie and Hulk then.
Yeah, I don't know if it was better than Toxie 2. It didn't have any windsurfing.
Well, yeah, I love Toxie too.
Well, and Toxie 2 handled Japanese themes much better than this movie.
So much better. So much better.
Yeah.
So,
put it above the Hulk or above Hulk.
Yeah.
Al?
77. Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. We are going to put Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Grown-ass
2014.
Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, exactly.
At number 77. Which means we are done with the Turtles for this week. We are done with this until the sequel. This did get a sequel.
They'll be back. They will
Yeah.
return.
But next week we will be watching an all-new movie. Next week we are going to be watching The Age of Ultron.
Oh, I'm
Ooh.
here for it. Oh,
So am I. I like
I have
this movie.
so many opinions. Yeah, I love this movie, as bad as it is considered.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Cool.
So thanks everybody for hanging out with us on Harmless Phosphorescence. This has been your host, Rose Smiley, and I also never saved my father from a fire.
I'm Josh CC, and don't forget that old guy.
I'm Brian Lesh, and I'm just going to stick around for the 99 cheese pizza and secret Fantas. I'll see you guys next week.
I'm Alaric Weber. Who wants Italian? I'm buying. Tiramisu for everybody.
Yes.
Thanks everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.